is part of the program Jeudis de l'orientation, or the orientation days on Thursday. It's an information session for studying in France. And as you can see, we already started in January. So we had 4 topics that we presented, and we're now on our way in the middle. So we're on the 3rd session. So the previous session were about Parcoursup, which is a program and a website to fill out your study desires for the universities in France if you want to do a bachelor. And last week we dived into the subject of artistic studies and campus art. And today we are focusing on programs taught in English. And it's an interesting topic because if you think of France, it's not anymore the case that you have to be studying in French. So this session is really about taking away that obstacle of not being able to speak French, or not really flexible enough to be following French in an academic environment. And this session is really about that there is also a possibility to follow programs in English within French schools and universities. So this session today will start off with a general presentation of what Campus France is about, and what the services of the embassies in the different countries are doing for those students orienting themselves toward the studying in France. And then we have some presentations of French universities all over France. And we close with a testimony of a student who is studying in France in English at the moment. So I think it's a very interesting session. Just if you have any questions, feel free to ask them by putting the questions in the chat. And by the end of the session, we will come back to you and respond those questions as good as we can. So just in more general terms about what Campus France is, for those who don't know it already. So Campus France is not an actual campus in France, but it's a website initiated by the French government to give all the information about studying in France in the best way possible. So it's not only about what kind of studies are there, what kind of master's programs, bachelor programs, summer schools, language programs, or programs in English, but it's also about the logistical things. So it's about how can I apply, what kind of procedure do I have to follow. It's about visa procedures, it's about finding housing or financing your studies. There are a lot of possibilities also for scholarships, for grants. So it's a general website in France, but each country in the world has its own Campus France agency. And for those people residing in the Netherlands or Belgium, Luxembourg or Switzerland, because with those 4 countries we are now organizing these sessions, you can just write an email to one of the persons just listed in this presentation, and you can all ask those questions to the right person. So for Belgium, it's charlotte.venema@diplomatie.gouv.fr, and for Luxembourg is etudes@efluxembourg.lu. For Switzerland, it's olivier.blanchet@diplomatie.gouv.fr, and for the Netherlands, it's me, because I'm responsible for the Campus France in the Netherlands. It's monix.setter@institutfrançais.nl. So that's more on general terms. Let me just quickly guide you through the possibilities of studying in English, also to be found on the website of Campus France. So either you can just write down the general website in your Google machine, or you can just type in the address that is listed below in this visual. Or you can scan the QR code. So this a brochure is the first page of the brochure that gives a bit of an overview of what are the possibilities. So on a very general terms, there are now 1,600 programs entirely taught in English. So that's really an effort that is going on from 2013 onwards to offer also programs besides the French programs And I think it's a very good opportunity also for those who don't necessarily speak well enough French. It does not mean that you can't learn French along the way, and maybe during the student testimony we can talk about that. It's always possible to learn French aside of your studies from your major. And also the different universities today are going to talk about that possibility as well. But it is a good thing that you can now follow your major also in English. So feel free to type in this address, and then you can see a whole catalog of all the possibilities all over France, depending on your choice of study. And let me get to the second slide, because there's a handy tool, I think, on the Campus France website, not only for the programs in English. So if you just want to study French, study in French, and you're looking for a bachelor program, you can just enter this link, so the catalogue licence. Licence are the bachelor programs in France. You can type that one in, and then you can see the slide I am into now. So you see the whole overview of all the different kind of study programs. You can just click on the subject you like, and then you see you can specify it a bit. You can see that on the right. So I chose law, that category, and then you have a lot of more categories to choose from. So for example, if you want to click on corporate law, or you're interested in family law or in human rights, you can click and you can specify it a bit. And then this tool will guide you towards the possibilities in France, where you can study it, in what cities and in what universities. So there are mainly 3 catalogs, but they are all working on the same level. So there is a catalog especially for bachelor programs, so the licence, one for master's programs, and one especially for programs entirely taught in English. So you can just choose them according to your own preferences. And good to know, we will also send you the slides later on, so you can just relax now a bit, and you can search for that later. Just to show you what you can get when I'm going further. So I've clicked to law, then to human rights, for example, and then this map will appear. So this gives you an example of all the law study programs in France. And then you can just further elaborate on your choices by clicking on a specific region. So if you want to choose the Parisian region, you can click and you see there are 152 possibilities. But if you want to study in the south, then you see there are 47. So it gives you a very visual image of what are the possibilities. So I think that's it. So don't hesitate to just visit this website. All the information is about it. I think those catalogs are very interesting, and good to know that there are many possibilities on all study fields. And not only masters, but also bachelor programs. So I think it's a good idea now to dive into more detail by giving the floor to some French universities. So I will close my presentation, and I will give the floor to Alice, if you are ready.
Yeah, so I'm going to share actually my presentation. Can you see it now?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so I think that I'm going to keep it like this. Otherwise, I'm going to see like only the presentation. I don't know where I am. So let's start.
Alice, if I may, can you just present it now on the...
Yeah. So actually, I'm Arelis, in charge of the communication from the University of Lille, actually for the international office of the University of Lille. And I want to present you actually different programs that we have right now in English. And there are also other kind of programs like Erasmus Mundus Masters, but also a new program that we launched in 2020. So to start, actually, I would like to say that the University of Lille is well known all around the world, with more than 1,000 partners everywhere, which allows actually the university to have right now 80,000 students, with more than 9,000 international students coming from different countries in the world. Last year, actually, the University of Lille create a new establishment, and this university now welcomes different faculties, schools, and institutes. So we are 15 right now. I'm going to show you some of them. So actually, since last year, the University of Lille is also composed by the Institute of Science, Political Sciences of Lille, the Architecture and Landscape School, the School of Journalism, and also the School of Arts and Textile. And also different faculties that are really well known, such as the Faculty of Medicine and actually sports and health sciences in general, the Faculty of Humanities, of Law. So we have actually like a really good panorama of different degrees. But the University of Lille is also very rich because of his territory and its history. So it is actually the third biggest city in France by population, the third most attractive city in terms of jobs and housing, a really joyful university and city with more than 100,000 students. And also a really welcome city, which is actually really, really well placed because we are 1 hour from Paris, only 1 hour and a half or 20 minutes from London, and 35 minutes from Brussels by train. So now actually the programs that maybe you are interested in. So the University of Lille is actually the third university in Europe in number of Erasmus Mundus Masters. So we have 10 Erasmus Mundus Master. I'm going to explain you later the areas. We also have 40 dual degrees, 30 bilingual courses, 26 courses fully taught in English. And since 2020, we launched actually these 4 graduate programs, which are different international courses by and for research in very particular areas. So for the 4 of them, they are actually interdisciplinary courses. For the first one, in precision health, the second one in science for a changing planet, the third one, information and knowledge society, and the fourth one is actually in science, in human sciences, which is actually really difficult to have courses in English. So we have actually a program where you can find different programs in English, but I have to say that more of them, they are in French. So this actually 4 research hubs, so create these different multidisciplinary courses, which are open or are mostly open for international students with the idea of developing a new training offer of excellence. So for this program, actually for the graduate program, so we have specific fellowships, for example, a yearly fellowship, a relocation grant for foreign students, and also an outgoing mobility grant. So you can find, actually, I will give you later all the information in details, but you can find information related to scholarships, calendar, and every program inside, and all the programs you have and you can follow in the website of the graduate programs for the University of Lille. But we also have at the university not only specific programs in English, but we also have different bachelor and master degrees, which can be totally in English, and that for some of them, they can also be in French and in English at the same time. I said before, I talk about the 10 Erasmus Mundus, which are actually a mandatory, a master degree actually that allows you to make a mandatory semester in one of the partner universities. So for example, you start here in Lille and then you are going to follow the next 2 semesters, I don't know, in Germany, and then the last one in Romania. So it depends actually on the partners of each program. So the main areas for these 10 programs are transnational migration, advanced stroke in chemistry, biorefinery, paleology, pharmaceutical material science, advanced solid mechanics, sports, economics and globalization, and European integration, sustainable drugs discovery, and the last one that we got actually last year, medical technology and healthcare business. We also have, and you can find this, Marnix was explaining before, actually, the catalog of Campus France. So there you can find all the training programs of the University of Lille, bachelor and master degrees in French, but you can also find the programs totally in English. So our degrees actually in English. But you can also find in our website, if you look for a program for free mover students. If you feel that your level in English is really good, but now you want actually to apply in French because you want to develop your skills in French, so at the University of Lille, we also have the Défi, which is actually the largest higher education institution from French teaching in foreign language. So this is our department to learn French, which is actually open for international students, and you can actually register then to make a full year course, or you can also actually make a semester 2, 3. It depends actually on your skills in French. So for the pre-registration, so we don't have actually the new calendar for 2023, but you know that, for example, the semester, the last one starts in September and then it ends now in January. So at the moment when you decided to register, so you have an application fee of 100 euros, but which are not actually deductible and not reimbursable, but you can actually apply and then try if you want to study here. So to give you some prices, for example, the academic year, the fees are around 1,600 euros. So you can find more information once again if you come to the University of Lille website. So you can find information related to the CLIL, so CLIL, to now look for the right information, the new calendar of the DEFI for the French courses. We also want to say that the University of Lille created in the frame of this Bienvenue en France label, which is actually our relationship with Campus France. We create actually the Maison Internationale, which is actually our international house located in the University of Lille in one of our campuses. And they are here actually to help international students to welcome to Lille, to arrive to Lille, but also helping them with administrative procedures and also to present social and cultural actions of the university and also of the city of Lille. So there are several associations working with us in the international house. For example, the cruise, which is the one leading your accommodation, the Préfecture du Nord, you have to make your student visa and everything, and also Hello Lille, which is actually our brand, the local brand of the city, proposing different cultural and activities all over the year. We can also have, you can also have, if you come to the university, so we develop actually 2 applications. So you have ULIL Go and ULIL Explore. The first one is actually to get information before, during, and after you come to the university. And the second one is actually if you study in Lille and then you want to become, want to participate to the body system. So you can, for example, be the guest for another student, another French student, or actually welcome another international student from your city, for example. And a specific information, actually specific support for foreign students, such as information related to La Maison Internationale, to Reflex Residence, which is actually an international residence, the Department of International French Teaching, the International Academy and its summer sessions, and also the Or Access Center if you want to study or you want to study here a PhD degree. So if you want to follow us on social media, so you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Lilagora, which is actually our professional social media. And you can actually also find information in the website of the University of Lille, the official one. And then there is a specific page and a specific mini website for every information related to the international office. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arlies, for this interesting presentation. We'll continue our journey way to the south, and we'll stop by at Marie-Pierre, which is representing Centrale Nantes. I'll let you present it.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's okay. So I'm Marie. I'm working in the International Office of Centrale Nantes. I have a long presentation, but don't worry, I can speak very fast.
Sorry, Marie, could you increase the volume of your mic, please?
I can try to speak louder because let me check if I can hear. Can you hear me better if I speak louder?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's better. Thanks.
Thank you. I will just shout, it's okay. Just few information on Centrale Nantes and Nantes, the city where we are located. We are located west from France, 2 hours by train from Paris and close to the Atlantic Ocean. Nantes is a very big city. We have 60,000 students in it, and it's also a very green city. Just few picture on Nantes. I'm not going to talk many hours about it because I will really want to focus on our program fully taught in English. We have a castle, like in the Loire Valley Castle, the famous one, a famous football team if you like football, but you can discover everything easily in Nantes. Centrale Nantes, we are a French engineering school, a school of engineering. We are...
Marie-Pierre, can I just, sorry to interrupt, but we can't see your presentation. Did you put it on share?
Yes, I try again. I close it and do it.
Yeah, that's better.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
yes,
thanks.
so you missed the most important picture. Sorry about that. So just here to show you where Nantes is located, some picture of the city, and stop me if there is something wrong, don't worry. And yeah, Centrale Nantes, our campus, we are a green campus located near a river where students like to run during lunchtime. But most importantly, we are a world-class engineering training in science and technology. So we focus on sustainable development, energy, digital transition. We are strong for our international outreach, but I will go back there after. We have 2,500 students on campus. And among that, 43% of our 39% of our students are international students. So if you come to study with us, you won't be left alone, and most of the staff here speaks English. We are strong also for our research. We have 11 strategic research area, 13 experimental platform. I will show you some pictures just afterwards. 550 researcher and teaching staff, 210 PhD students are working right now on campus. So when you come to study on our program, you get to work on the platform and not just a theory. Of course, you do half and half theory classes, half practical classes. That's some example of the platform that we have. We have a supercomputer, a wind tunnel, an offshore site that we are currently working with the government on it, some engine test bench, electrical and also thermic, a smart factory platform, a robotic platform, but I couldn't have too many pictures. Deeper into the subjects. We are a school of engineering. I'm not going to explain you exactly how that works. I will, because we have a bachelor program, so we're going to work like any other schools. We have a bachelor program, 2 of them, one of them purely taught in Centrale Nantes, one of them combined with Audencia, the management school. And I will talk about the master program we have taught in English, local master program and Erasmus Mundus. We have half what you have in Lille. We have only 5 of them. And we also have a fast track program if you want to get a diplôme d'ingénieur instead of a master degree, but I will go back on that. The new one that I want to talk about is our Bachelor of Science in Engineering. It's going to be new in September 2023. It's going to be a 3-year bachelor program like we have in Europe, fully taught in English. The idea is year 1 and year 2 to give you the fundamentals of engineering, mathematics, computer science, physics, engineering. And during the 3rd year to give you a specialization between 4 tracks. If you prefer civil engineering, mechanical, energy, control, and robotics, you will be able to choose the subject you're interested in. During those 3 years program, you get to do 2 internships, one 6 weeks during the year 2 and one 16 weeks during the final year. The idea is either you can directly work after a bachelor or continue with any international master program you want. You don't have to stay with us. You can go in any university or school of engineering. Right now is the right time to apply, but at the end, I'll have a QR code that you can scan so I can send you the details directly per email. The second program we have for bachelor level is a BBA Big Data and Management. This one is in 4 years. It's fully accredited as well, and you do half engineering, half management with Odense. It's the first program that combines both specialties. After that, you can directly work as a data analyst, for example. The idea was to create a program where you get to be specialized as well in management and in engineering. In this program, you have 15 months international experience, 12 months work placement. And instead of 3 years like we have in Europe for the bachelor, this one will be in 4 years. So you get to have all the fundamental classes and courses to be specialized in big data and management. The same right now is the right time to apply. All intake for all the program I'm going to talk about start in September. And we don't have start in February, only in September. After the bachelor program, we have a 1 year, we call it Foundation Master program. This program is if you feel like joining a master, but you are not sure that you have the right level to join the master. This one, we call it the Foundation Master, is kind of a preparatory class to join one of our programs. And we have 2 tracks, one specialized in mechanics, one specialized in control and robotics. Deeper into the master program subject, we have 6 master tracks with 15 specialisms. I'm not gonna go deep into each subject, that's too specific, but you can get in touch with me after the presentation, and I can go deeper into each subject if you need to. So control and robotics, mechanical engineering, marine technology, and civil engineering, industrial, city and urban environment. It's purely engineering. One of the things you have to know is that we have a strong level in mathematics. So if you are not sure about your level in mathematics, work hard and you will be able to get in one of our programs. The price that I have on these slides are for non-European students. For European students, I did not mention that, so don't be afraid for master program. The price would be 250 euros per year. We have the local fees for the government fees and the local and international fees. So you are from Europe, considered as a European student, like so you pay like the French student fees. We also have 5 Erasmus Mundus programs. 3 of them on the left, we are the coordinator of the program. They are in control and robotics. First one in power system dynamics, second one in e-mobility, third one in robotics, and 2 others in marine technology. Those programs, I'm not go back on the subject because Lille already talked about it, but you know, they are like they have the label of excellence Erasmus Mundus. You have a compulsory mobility, and also the opportunity to get full funded scholarship for the program. And we have a strong lack of European students on those programs. So really, if you need more information, contact us and really apply to those programs. We have opportunities for European students. Another program we have is EIT Master School. It's a bit similar to an Erasmus Mundus program, just not the same funding from Europe, but for you, it does not matter. The same, we have strong scholarship for European students, and we have a lack of European students on this program. Those both are in combined to our industrial engineering track, one of them in data science, the second one in platform for digitalized value. Lots of optimization on those program as well. Last one, Fasttrack engineering program. Is if you want to get the diplôme d'ingénieur, equivalent of master degree, but that's what the French students are following when they come to a school of engineering. They don't follow master degree, they follow a diplôme d'ingénieur. This one, you get it if you follow like the French way to get it, but as an international student, you can also access it with this 2 years program. First year is fully taught in English, second year is taught in French. Basically, the second year you are mixed with the French students. You have to choose between 22 options, specialism, manufacturing, digital, health, depending on what you want to specialize. The main difference on the master program and engineering program that we have would be the name of the diploma, but also our master program are specialized, while our engineering program is generalist. That's the main difference we would have. But with both programs, you will easily find a job afterwards. We are working hand in hand with industries. So that's some of the partners we have. We have some industrial chairs with some of them. In all our programs, you have to have a placement. You have to have, for master program, 6 months internship or master thesis, industry research lab, up to what you prefer. We have some jobs fair organized in Nantes or directly on campus, so you can get to meet the industrial partners and find internship or jobs afterwards. And we have a career center that's going to help you to work on your resume, interviews, and prepare for your look for an internship first and then a jobs. We also have a strong alumni network of more than 20,000 alumni spread everywhere in the world. And they are usually very available. We have 196 partner universities in 51 countries, so we work really worldwide. We are used to welcome international students, regardless where they come from. And we also send lots of students. Our engineering students from the diplôme d'ingénieur, they have to have international mobility. That's part of their curriculum, otherwise they cannot graduate. So I'm from the international office. We are a strong team. We really work on the welcome of the students. The idea is for our students to feel well on campus. We are a small campus, 2,500 students. In the office, we have 12 persons, with 3 in charge of master student, 1 in charge of bachelor student, for example. So we are really here to help you. We help you book an accommodation in the cruise, the students' residence from the government. We help you with administrative procedure, health insurance, visa renewal, anything you would need while coming for the first time in France. Also, we have more than 80 students club and association on campus. Regardless, you prefer to play rugby, football, sailing, dance, anything, you will find it on campus. That's our team, mostly girls, but you are used to it now. I think most international departments are girls right now. That's the end of my presentation. I speak very fast, so you have the contact details, but also if you scan this QR code, you will access a Google form. If you tick the box of the program you will be interested in receiving more information, I will be able to send it to you per mail, and if you need, schedule a talk together or just a WhatsApp talk if you prefer. So thanks a lot everyone for your attention.
Thank you so much, Marie-Pierre. It was very interesting and beautiful pictures. Let's continue our way to the south, way along the way to Montpellier. Yeah, Quentin, I can give the floor to you.
Of course. I will share my screen with you all. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Quentin, and I'm here to represent the EDIL graduate program of the University of Montpellier. EDIL standing for Interdisciplinary in-lab, and you'll see why in a minute. It is a very special master program which opened recently, and it possesses some very unique features. I will try to remain synthetic during my presentation, so let's jump right into it. First of all, the ideal graduate program includes 10 master programs and 1 engineer diploma, but we will detail the concerned disciplinary fields later. What unifies all of them is their pedagogical structure, which can be divided in 3 main aspects. First, our program is research-oriented, which means that you will have a lot of courses that will occur directly in the lab, and also research internship, both in M1 and M2. The ideal graduate program put a strong emphasis on making you learn by practice and bringing closer students to researchers. The second main aspect is that you can customize your program as you want it to be. We have 3 different types of teaching units common to all of our tracks that you can pick from. The first one stands for the interdisciplinary part of our program. It is the non-core units. It represents the opportunity for you to take introductory classes to a totally new discipline. For example, if you are a student in ecology, you can take courses of political sciences. This can create for you a unique profile corresponding to your professional project, because we can see nowadays that more and more disciplinary fields works in interaction. The second custom teaching unit you can have is the in-lab unit, which stands for the in-lab part of our program. It represents workshop along 1 or 2 days directly in the lab to learn about a specific technique or method right in the touch with the researchers. And the third one is the transversal teaching unit. Transversal teaching units represent soft skills that can be used in any professional situation, not only research. For example, the different approaches to management, how to use data, developing efficient reading skills, etc. The third main aspect of our program is that you will be accompanied all along the way by a researcher of your discipline, who will be your mentor. He will be there to guide you in choosing the courses you need and developing a professional project and professional network. We strongly believe that research can be used in any professional situation. So our tracks are not only for the students willing to commit to the research sector, and at the end of your studies, you will be able to work with the private sector. So here you can see the disciplinary fields concerned by the ideal program, which cover sciences, health, ecology, politics, management, engineering. There is for sure one for you in there, and you can get more detail about each of them on our website at ideal.edu.umontpellier.fr. I'll let you see it a bit, but I think I will switch right to the scholarships. We have special scholarship for international students, which includes 4 months scholarship of 600 euros, both in M1 and M2, and gratified internship, both in M1 and M2 as well. We do have a special subsidy for your travel costs, and in order to facilitate your arrival in France, we have free French as foreign language classes that you won't need during your classes, but it can be useful in your everyday life in Montpellier. Here you can see a couple of pictures we took during this year, and I will not go into the details, but we have a very original concept for the student life of the ideal graduate program, which the students appreciate very much. Thank you for listening. I'm now here to answer your question with all my other colleagues.
Thank you, Quentin. Good to know that there are also general grants students can apply for. So there is more information on that on Campus France, and especially on the specific country websites. So if you want more information on your specific country you're now residing in, either the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, or Switzerland, you can just address yourself to to the people responsible for that. And it's good to know that the period for those scholarships and grants are just going to be opened. So it's very smart to keep that in mind. Just for the last part of this session, I'll invite Femke Bos, which is a student actually now in Paris and following studies in English. And I will share my screen to present it, but you can already take the floor, Femke, if you want.
Had some difficulty turning on my camera, but sure.
Okay.
So following this info session on being an international student in France, Marnix invited me here to share a bit more about my own experience as being an international student in France. So more specifically, I will share a bit more about student life in France, and then most specifically Paris, because this is where I'm following my master degree in environmental policy at Sciences Po. I decided to move to France for my master's education because most, or at least quite some of the master's degrees in France have a duration of 2 years, which really enables you to build a life, get to know. By the way, Marnix, we can move to the next slide if you want. I don't think I can manage the slides. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much. So it really enables you to explore a new country, a new culture, learn a new language, meet new people. So yeah, for me, this was a very big but also rewarding challenge. And it has been 6 months since I first arrived in Paris to start my student adventure. And I will be able to reflect a bit upon that now. And it has been a really rewarding and good decision thus far. So yeah, I'm very happy to share a bit more about my experiences and maybe answer some questions if these may arise later on. Regarding learning a new language, Marnix already referred to it earlier on, but it's really possible to study in France without being able to speak the language that well. I speak from experience. I didn't really know how to speak French before moving here. And luckily my degree was in English, so it was not necessarily for my academic life to speak fluently French. However, I did want to learn, improve my skills in French, which I did through my university. So I'm following a few hours of French class every week. However, there's plenty of opportunities to take French classes. I'm living in an international student campus, which also offers French talking groups, but also study materials. And then there's also courses offered by the French Parisian municipality, which are normally a bit cheaper than private French courses. And actually, I can also witness this from many international students around me. It's very doable to learn some French. And what is nicer in a sense than learning a new language and being in this country where they speak this language at the same time. Also, I was able to meet a lot of new people. I made both French friends and international friends, which enables me to learn more about the French culture, but also about other cultures. And I would say, making new friends in a foreign or abroad country is very doable because there's a lot of people that are likewise to you, starting a new phase and adventure in their life. And finally, I wanted to refer quickly to the scholarship opportunities because this is actually also my connection to today's session. I received a scholarship from Campus France, which is something I'm really grateful for. And this scholarship is not just about the financial support you receive, but there's also a very strong element of social support. There is a social network amongst the scholarship beneficiaries. Actually, in fact, I made quite some friends through the different Campus France events that have been organized over the past few months. So this is actually in a nutshell my student life here in France, more specifically Paris, because this is what I can share a bit more about. But yes, this was it from my side. So I'm happy to answer any questions later on if these have arisen. Thank you, Marnix.
Thank you, Femke. Very interesting to hear about your personal journey in Paris. And all the best of luck for the continuing of that studies and your student life in Paris. So we've reached the end of the general session. Maybe there are some questions. Then feel free to ask them in the chat box. We'll wait for them to.
Until now, we have no questions.
Okay. So yeah, then we can just wrap up, I think. And if there are any questions, just feel free to ask them. Okay, I see a question from Anishar. So let me see. Are there other English courses beside what we have shown here? So I think you mean by that that there are other universities that are offering English courses. If that's the case, that's totally the case. It's just selection during the session of some universities are offering those courses or those programs sometimes entirely. But just as I said in the beginning, there is just a catalog on Campus France, that website, which shows all the programs that are offered in France. So not only in the regions we just saw today, but on the whole territory of France. So now I see the question of, but feel free, those who have presented as well, to dive more into the specific answer for your universities. But I can give a general answer now. The question is about a student just getting out of high school. They should apply to a bachelor course or a course by another name. So in general, you have to apply for a bachelor course. And you have to know that in France, that's called as well a licence. So a license program. So you should apply for that one. And there are specific procedures also to follow then. And then I also invite you to review our first meeting, because it was specifically about the procedure for bachelor students for the first time, so entering in those programs in France. And that procedure is called Parcoursup. So the general information about that you can just find on our website, because we've published those sessions as well. But maybe Aurélie or Marie-Pierre or Quentin, maybe you have some specific answers for your situations in your universities. Feel free to take.
Yes, in Central Nantes for the bachelor program, you don't need to go through. Actually, we don't open the program on Parcoursup. We have it only on that admission with us. It's a bit specific.
In what concerns the University of Montpellier, I represent here the master program of IDIL. So you have to undergo an undergraduate program to qualify for the IDIL graduate program.
Yeah, in the case of the University of Lyon, so if you want to apply for a bachelor degree, so yeah, you have to actually follow the Parcoursup procedure. But then, for example, for some kind of the graduate program, and also for some, well, that would be for the master degree. But if you want to enroll, for example, later an Erasmus master degree, so that you have to follow actually the procedure for Erasmus Mundus program. So it depends actually on the field you want to follow and the levels of study you want to follow. But at this stage, so for the bachelor degree in our university, you have to follow Parcoursup.
Okay, thank you.
We have another question from Jeudis, which is there a shortcut in Parcoursup to identify English taught bachelor programs?
Yeah, I think what I can advise in that case is to do it the other way around, to first look at the catalogs, and then you see the overview of all the English taught programs in the bachelor level, and then you can make that a selection, and then you can follow the Parcoursup procedure. I think that's the best way to do it. And I see some nodding, so that's good to know. And just another question about the application time. So it's good to know for you that it's already opened. on the 18th of January, and the platform will be closed on the 9th of March.
Yeah.
And then, but there are several steps. So the first step is to register yourself on the platform. So that can be done until the 9th of March, and then you can just fill out some wishes for the universities and programs. And then from the 10th March onwards until the 6th of April, you can just complete your file and confirm your wishes. And then during the summer months, then you will receive the final answer from the universities. But all this can also be found on the Parcoursup website. So you can just type in Parcoursup on the internet, and then you see as well the timeline. So I don't know if there are any more questions, maybe just some final words from our presenters then. I see another question popping up. Is there a limit to the number of courses a student can apply for? So yeah, if I'm saying it correctly, it's a number of 5 choices, but maybe Olivier, you can confirm that, or the other ones.
I think that you have only 3, so you can
Only
be
3,
only
okay.
3 wishes. For example, you can list different bachelor degrees or master degree in the same university, or you can also actually choose the same program in 3 different universities. For example, you want to study, I don't know, management, so you can choose University of Lille, Centrale Nantes, and University of Montpellier. So actually, you have like your 3 wishes in the same field, or you can also have 3 different wishes in the same university. So actually, it's up to you. But all the procedure and information related to how to apply on Parcoursup. So is that I think that they also, I believe that actually they create like a tutorial where you can find every information, how to apply, what to do, when to do it. But it also depends on university. So maybe if you are like really interested in a program, you can also contact the university to know if there is any chance to actually, if you miss the time to go on Parcoursup, so if you can actually apply directly to the university. So it depends on each program and each level actually.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's a good thing to also look at the universities, because the selection can really depend from one university to another, and also depending from one program to another. So I'm just waiting a bit for the final questions. If there aren't, let me just remind you that you can just contact the people from the universities that just presented themselves and the programs. I will make sure that the slides will be sent to you when it will be available. Know that also this session is recorded, so you can always look it up, and you can tell others to look into it if they're interested. Also for the other sessions, so more questions about Parcoursup, we recorded that version as well. And as far as the slides concerned for the other sessions, you can also send an email to those responsible for each country, and then you can just send an email and ask those questions. And I think that's about it. So I want to thank again Arélis, Quentin, and Marie-Pierre and Femke for their interesting presentations. And I hope you, well, that many of your questions have been answered now. And also thanks Olivier and Ayo, my colleagues, for being there and taking care of the technical stuff. Okay, and wishing you a very nice evening.
You too. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Manix.